Not too long ago, I read a book called Fish. The story begins with Mary Jane's husband dying, and to top that off, she works at what she calls a toxic energy dump. Everybody that works there is always negative and doesn't know how to have fun. One day, Mary goes to lunch and finds a fish market, the Pike Place. She makes friends with the workers and she tells them about her situation at work. They teach her 4 ingredients of positivity. Number 1, choose your attitude, because without changing your attitude, none of these will work. Number 2, you have to play with people and have fun. Number 3, make their day so they become happy. And number 4, be present in case they need you. After she learns these skills, she puts them into action at work by teaching her teammates. Then her teammates become positive and happy. Just like Mary learning new things, I also learned a very important quote. There is always a choice about the way you do your work, even if there's not a choice about the work itself. Which leads me to a personal story that has to do with school. In math class, we had to do Math IXL, which I dislike because I don't like math. When you get 1 correct, you only get a couple points. But when you get 1 wrong, you get multiple points taken off. Instead of crying and complaining about the situation, which sometimes I do, I get over it and finish my work. You also have to do something about the situation to fix it. For example, I sit next to my friends and once in a while I have a laugh with them, which is the opposite for most people because they get distracted. It's all about tuning your attitude and how you want to work. Just like the quote, there is always a choice about the way you do your work, even if there's not a choice about the work itself. So even though I don't have a choice about IXL, I can always choose how I work on IXL. About 2 years ago at recess, I broke my finger playing soccer. When I broke my finger, I did not know it was broken and thought it was just jammed. The same day, I went with Miss Mitchell to the World Leadership Conference and saw a couple professional speakers. The hardest part about that day was shaking everybody's hand because it was really painful. A couple days later, when I went to the doctors, we finally found out that it was broken and I had to have a cast on. That was the worst part of the whole experience. Because as I always go to the beach and diving, I can barely get in the water because if my cast got wet, it will break. So I could only go waist deep and my arm had to be up the whole time. So instead of me complaining, I made the best out of it and went waist deep instead of not going in at all. So I changed my attitude to play and have fun instead of wishing my cast was off and sitting in the sand. Speaking about playing and having fun, I love to play sports. One of the hardest things in sports is to lose and to see the other team celebrating. Instead of looking at it as you just lost, you can look at it as you lost for a reason and learn from that reason. So the next time you go to practice, you can learn from the mistake. It's all about how you look at things and how you interpret it. My friend Brandon has a very bad peanut allergy. When I first met him, he thought it was horrible. After a couple of years, Brandon went to different conventions with all types of kids that have all types of allergies and finally saw that his allergy, compared to others, isn't really that bad. He's now happier with himself and has a whole different perspective on his allergy. He followed the meaning of the quote. Even though his allergy is not work, he has to live with it and can't choose to not have it. So Brandon can't choose to not have the allergy, but he can choose how he handles it. This speech was talking about your attitude and perspective, but these are only one of many skills in life that you will need. So the next time you do something that you dislike, just remember the quote. There is always a choice about the way you do your work, even if there's not a choice about the work itself.